on lap 6, and it's still Senna leading, Rosberg second. But, in case you missed it, Andrea de Cesaris in the Ligier on its Pirelli tyres is up into 3rd place. Mansell is in 4th place. Alain Prost is in 5th position. So Prost is slipping down through the field, as is his teammate Niki Lauda. And so things are not at the moment looking good for the Marlboro McLaren cars.
Yes, and Lauda is putting on a storming drive, because from starting almost last, he had trouble getting away. He's now up to 9th place, and Lauda is definitely the man to watch. He's storming through the field.
And there's the man he's chasing. Ayrton Senna, who has had, that's Keke Rosberg, but Ayrton Senna has had such appalling luck this season. He, like several others in this race, really deserves a win. He won in Portugal in that appalling wet weather. He's had 3 pole positions this year. He's had 6 front row of the starting grid positions, and now this is the battle for 3rd. In the blue Ligier, higher than he's been this season, Italian Andrea de Cesaris. 4th is Alain Prost, with his titanium skin plate striking sparks from a bump on the Hangar Straight. 5th behind him is Nigel Mansell. So there's a right royal battle going on for 3rd place between the Renault-powered Ligier, the TAG-powered McLaren, and the Honda-powered Williams, all of them V6s. Nigel Mansell is in 4th position. And that is Jonathan Palmer going out of the race. Derek Warwick is in 10th position. Jonathan Palmer is in 17th place, and Martin Brundle is 18th.
And for those of you who are wondering, it's quite all right. His steering wheel did not come away in his hand while he was driving, and it's not the reason for his retirement. They are detachable, because, as you can see just by looking at the cars, they're pretty difficult to get in and out of, and it makes it a lot easier if there's no steering wheel in the way. Now, these two have already pulled close to 10 seconds on the fight for 3rd place, and there we are. Rosberg has posted the fastest lap so far, but I'm quite sure as the fuel loads come down, so will the times, because remember, the cars are over 50% heavier when they're full of fuel than by the time they finish the race, when they've drunk most of it. But Nigel Mansell looked to be in a bit of trouble. He was in 3rd place. He's now dropped back to 5th and looks to be struggling to hold on to the battle behind. So, something like 10 seconds before the next lot come through, and as Prost having a little look at De Cesaris, look at this again, and this is certainly a very encouraging performance by Andrea de Cesaris, and also for the Ligier team.
And for the record, that 1 minute 13.4 lap of Keke Rosberg's is a new lap record. It's about a second faster than Alain Prost's 1983 lap record in a Renault. But as James said, they're going to be going a lot quicker as the fuel load lightens and the race speed increases. Keke Rosberg there, still in 2nd position. And we're keeping a very weather eye on the sky, because the clouds are lowering, they're getting darker, and Alain Prost is charging towards Andrea de Cesaris, still behind his gearbox, still in 4th position, but pulling away, as you can see, from Nigel Mansell's 5th. Both the Williams Hondas, then, are still in the top 5. 9 points for a win in the World Championship. 2.6 for 2nd. 4 for 3rd. Is Prost going to try and take De Cesaris going into the chicane? He not only tries, but he does it.
That was a fine overtaking manoeuvre by Alain Prost, because De Cesaris was not making it easy for him. He was entirely fair, but Prost really had to stay off the brakes for longer than he wanted to, and he could only get alongside. So Prost moves up into 3rd place.
Yes, he is. Let's look at it again as Prost comes under the bridge, moves to the right, and is alongside Andrea de Cesaris' Ligier, so that the Italian was unable to close the door. Prost had got the right line into the chicane, and de Cesaris has to tuck in behind the wing of the Marlboro McLaren. But hats off to the Ligier team. because with the advent of Gérard Larousse, ex-Renault, and Michel Tétu, ex-Renault, and a mammoth budget which has been engineered by Guy Ligier, they're getting their cars really right.
Despite the fact that the clouds look quite high, we are actually now getting some spots of rain. Now, the weather people forecast a thunderstorm for around 3 o'clock. It's only 1:45 now, but it would appear that the unsettled weather may well play a major factor in this race in the long run.
And Ayrton Senna, on his 11th lap, as we look at him, has already lapped Stefan Beloff in the only car in this race and in Grand Prix racing that is powered with one of the great Ford Cosworth DFB engines, which won 155 Grand Prix. Martin Brundle is driving the other Tyrrell, a Tyrrell Renault, and is in 16th place at the present moment. And now the danger man, in the other sense of the word, Martini, who took off Elio De Angelis this morning in the warm-up, as a result of which the right rear corner of Elio De Angelis's JPS Lotus was destroyed and had to be rebuilt before the race started. And I do believe I see the tyres starting to glisten. By the way, De Angelis is in 6th position, and at the end of the 11th lap, the race order is Ayrton Senna leading. Rosberg there is in 2nd place. In 3rd place is Alain Prost in the McLaren. 4th is De Cesaris. 5th is Mansell. 6th De Angelis. 7th Piquet. 8th Lauda. 9th Alboreto. 10th Warwick. 11th Berger. 12th Chiva. 13th Sura. 14th Lafitte. 15th Boutsen. 16th Brundle. And then Patrese, Winkelhock, Martini and Beloff. And Martini and Beloff have already been lapped. De Angelis being chased by Piquet. De Angelis in the black and gold JPS Lotus in 6th position. Behind him, Nelson Piquet 7th, and behind Piquet, the world champion, Niki Lauda, number 1, who has still only scored 3 world championship points this year for his 4th place in San Marino. New lap record then, Prost. Prost is the fastest man on the circuit.
Yes, the clear air, Prost getting into 3rd place, gave him clear air on his wings, and he's now ready to go, and it's quite clear that McLaren's in tremendous form. Niki Lauda, there's Alain Prost, just going into Cox Corner after the pits, and chasing the leading 2, and he's got Keke Rosberg's rear wing in sight. But it's quite clear the McLarens are in good form. Lauda, who, if you remember, we didn't see it on your screen, but we saw it from our commentary position, made a complete bog of the start. Obviously, we don't know why, and was just about last away. But Lauda is up into 8th place and challenging the battle between De Angelis and Piquet to get through. See the sparks coming from Prost's car. That's just skid plates. When the car bottoms, they put titanium plates, and that sparking is quite harmless and expected. As the fuel load lightens, the car probably won't be hitting the ground like that.
Ayrton Senna's just coming through to complete his 13th lap, and I'm going to take the gap between himself and Prost. There's no doubt, as James says, that Prost is catching Rosberg, but is he catching Ayrton Senna? Well, at the present moment, the gap is 10.5 seconds, 10.49 seconds between Ayrton Senna in the JPS Lotus, the man you're looking at now, and Alain Prost, who is in 3rd position, and the 2 of them are sandwiching 2nd place man Keke Rosberg, who won in Detroit and was 2nd in France.
And as they came past us, Niki Lauda has overtaken Nelson Piquet, which moves him up to 7th place, and Elio De Angelis is going into the pits very, very slowly with a dead engine. So it looks like there is De Angelis. It looks like at the end of the day's work for Elio.
Elio De Angelis sadly being pushed in, ending his wonderful reliability record, because he had scored points in every Grand Prix before this one this year, as his teammate Ayrton Senna finishes now a bat lap. Now the gap, you will recall, between Senna and Prost on the previous lap was 10.5 seconds, and the gap between Senna and Prost now is 10 seconds. So Prost has taken half a second out of Senna's lead. That may not sound very much, but there are still 51 laps left to go.
And Keke Rosberg appears to be slowing down, and that doesn't come as a total surprise, because the Williams team, I understand, gambled on the softest compound of tyre, and it wouldn't surprise me, and another new lap record for Prost there, and he's got Rosberg very much in his sights now. But Rosberg